I'm quickly going for the fossil fuels and its challenges. I have identified few challenges and in my opinion, what could be the probable solutions for that? Some 2 years back, McKinsey has made some study and they have identified that we are sitting on the storm, which is the food crisis, energy crisis, maybe many blah blah things, which gives us the many challenges. 3 billion more middle class consumers, 140%, 147% increase in the commodity prices, 44 million persons driven back to the poverty. At the same time, there are many opportunities. Maybe $2.9 trillion are available as the carbon and one investment of $1 trillion investment. We cannot show it there. It is coming over here.
Why don't we transfer that slide on to?
Okay, so out of that, that challenges were from starting from the irrigation developments to the energy. Yeah, it is there. To the energy efficiencies. So out of the 15 challenges, 75% were these 15 challenges. Out of this, again, 60% is the energy related things. So once we talk about the energy, what is the energy pattern? Right now in Asia Pacific, still we are dependent on the coal, and while Middle East it is oil and gas. We are consuming like approximately 12.7 million tons of the 12.7 billion tons of the oil equivalent, and still the fossil fuel dominance, coal, oil and gas. In the next future, next 25 years, again the situation is going to remain same. From 12 billion to we are going to go for 17 billion, which is again dominant role of approximately 83% is today, maybe 74% coal, gas and oil. In India, we are at number 4 for the energy consumption. It may be 2035, it would be 9%. Today we are 5%. From where this energy would come? 2/3 of it may come from the gas and renewables. So these are the hydrocarbon realty bites. Today we are dependent on the fossil fuel, 83%, which maybe in next 15 years it may go down 64%, but in India it may not be much difference. From 92%, it may go down even to 88%. These are the challenges, few challenges I have identified. This was the study made by the Rajar Business. Many challenges they have identified, starting from the price volatility, to climate change, to the human capital deficit, to the new technologies. So these are the few challenges which, in my opinion, are the most important. And what are their probable solutions? The population and human capital deficit. This is the first challenge. We are approximately increasing to by 2050 by 9 billion. By increasing of the population, the energy consumption in the OECD countries remains same, while non-OECD it is increasing approximately 4 times. So from where this energy again can come, this can come from the efficiency gains and from the new supplies. But the most important thing remains, most of the persons worldwide feel, there is the Hayes survey that employers concerned during the current employer market, that there is the first concern, most concern is the 37.3% is the skill shortage. So how this skill shortage can be met? We may not require bachelor's degree for every job. Maybe there are many jobs in which there are job-oriented skills are there. They could be the persons which can be trained for the job-oriented skills. There could be baby boomers. They can mentor, they can play the advisory role, they can transfer expertise, knowledge, skills. Older generations can teach the tricks of the trade, while younger generation had endless opportunities to grab. Was the first challenge. And another challenge, in my opinion, is the oil gas resources and technology. Today, the reserves are 80% with the NOCs and 20% with the IOCs. So now there is a need. See, if we see the first 10 most producing companies, out of the 10 companies, 6 are the NOCs. So there is a need for adoption of the partnership, long-term competitiveness, resource development, technology proficiency. Like Petrobras, they have developed the deep waters with the help of the service companies and the academia. So something like that could be there. Again, with the innovative technology, today 60 to 80% R&D is with the incremental advances. Now there is a chance that service companies, oil companies, government, academia, they can have the partnership, and we can get major things. Like Mr. Sunil Joshi was telling that game changer technology was the multi-stage hydrofracturing. Similarly, there are now few technologies, 6 technologies worldwide have been identified, which may change the game. Well, first is the subsea processing. This is not only the processing, this is processing, separating, disposal, everything subsea is possible nowadays. So probably in the next few years, you will see much more activities for the separation and disposal in the subsea. Multiple well pad drilling, which we call the octopus technology. There are companies even they could drill 51 wells from one pad. M2N machine-to-machine technology, probably it is possible for the remote control of the operations, remote control of the surveillance, remote control of the pipelines. Floating LNG production system is already working in Australia, in which there is, at the field itself, the LNG is made and transported, and once the gas is finished, the same platform can move to the other places, and it can be used. So maybe in the near future, this will develop. And another thing is the seismic imaging from 2D, 3D, now it is the 4D. The real-time monitoring of the reservoir has introduced one more factor. Supercomputing, again, which we used to process in a day, now it is possible to process in 1 hour. So these are the few technologies which are coming up. So probably this will again change the game. Another challenge, in the morning also, someone was mentioning that there is a long distance between the supply and the market of the natural gas. So again, there is a need for having the long-term, long-drawn pipelines. Right now, major trade movement is like this, which maybe once America exports in that shale gas, maybe America may be exporting the gas. This is already working, 680 kilometers pipeline. It is already working. SAGE pipeline, which we are talking, it is again from South Asia Gas Enterprise pipeline. We are expecting that maybe 2017, we may get some gas from this pipeline. Similarly, our petroleum minister mentioned the TAPI, the Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India pipeline. Talks are going on. So there is a need that we have to bring closer through the pipeline the consumer and the supplier. Another challenge in the coal industry, we know all very well that safety is a major challenge. Another challenge is the outdated technology, coal processing, and transport. There is a need that we have to have the productivity enhancement to entire coal chain. This is the need, probably we have to do that. Another challenge which everyone is talking, everyone is telling is the environmental change. We are going to emit, since till 2030, fossil fuel is going to play a major role. So still we will be emitting much more carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. To the label, that what we have emitted in last 110 years, two-thirds of that, 75% of that, we will be emitting next 25 years. This all data is available. I have given the probable source over there, that from where I have taken the data. The solution is scenario 450, which worldwide it is being, the attempts are being made to adopt it. Global changes of temperature to restrict up to 2 degrees centigrade. There is possibility it can be done. Today, we are increasing the emission at the rate of 21%, which will increase the temperature by 6 degrees. If we restrict to the present level, probably we will increase the 4 degrees. The requirement is to reduce this by 22%. How it can be done? Probably energy efficient technologies, low carbon energy technologies, energy conservation, hybrid plugs and hybrid electric vehicles, judicial and optimal use. We all know it very well that what is to be there, but this is one slide. See, we are still in power generation efficiency is very low. So there is a opportunity for transport and power generation. If we increase the efficiency, probably we can save some of the energy, and ultimately we will save the carbon dioxide emission. It is possible by that what if we take these measures from 17 billion, it is possible to reduce it by 15 billion. The most that the challenge is the oil prices and its impact. That EIA had made the survey that probably the 2015, this survey was in November 14, that oil prices average for the year would be $77 and $83, which it was in January, it was $62 and $68. Again, this was the expected average for the year. Actuals were 45, 48. Today it is 52 and 61, which is little more. So if it will be done, who will be going to get the more beneficial? The Philippines, India, USA, Brazil, UK, Japan probably will be more getting the benefits, while Saudi Arabia, Russia, UAE, and Norway, they will be losing the share. If this is a US forecast, if this is made, then probably prices, what being talked from the morning, it will remain in that period. This is the last slide. This is the how much crude price, if it is lowered, probably the positive for the India is the import bill and the more investments. Negatives are the oil companies. And if America starts export of 1 million for the refined product, then it is again challenge to the refineries. Thank you very much. I would like to say that there is no passenger on the spaceship Earth. We all are the crew, so we have to take the call of the day. Thank you.